Welcome back to our channel, and thank you for tuning in and thank you for supporting us. But if you have not subscribed yet, please encourage us by doing so. And God bless Biafra. The Fulani-controlled Nigerian Supreme Court is now straight up the most hopeless and useless Supreme Court in the history of the world's Supreme Courts, having violated common sense and the will of voters, and gave Biafrans a Supreme Court administrator in Imo State who never even pretended to have won an election in the name of hopeless Uzodenjo. The shameless Chief Justice Ariwola and the President of Appeal Court are now crying foul that fake Buhari turned the Supreme Court and the Appeal Court justices, including those in the High Court, into judiciary bandits. And the Fulani Nigerian government has destroyed the judicial system in the zoo called Nigeria, as they turned the legislative arms of government to mere rubber stamps and rewarded their rubber stamp Senate President Ahmed Lawal with a daylight robbery victory at the Supreme Court for an election primary that he never participated in. He was an absentee candidate. This is how useless the Zoological Republic of Nigeria has turned into in the hands of fake Buhari and the Fulani Nigerian government. They have turned the justices into beggars. They now go after the highest bidder. So there is no hope for common man. There's no hope. So why are they still keeping the zoo called Nigeria? Why are the Fulani Janjaweed still fighting to keep Nigeria as one entity? Why are they doing so? They are only doing so because it is only the Fulani Janjaweed that benefits from the fraudulent contraption called Nigeria. From a terrorist nation called Nigeria. They are the ones only benefiting. They are benefiting and oppressing the indigenous tribes in Nigeria because they have succeeded with their divide and conquer tactics. Due to selfishness on the side of the few so-called Biafran politicians and other southern politicians. Very selfish people. According to reports, appeal courts in Delima no funds for tribunals as general elections draw nearer. The president of appeal court lamented and was crying. The president of appeal court, Justice Monica jourdan-Mensem, decried the unavailability of intervention funds as the general elections draw nearer. The zoo is finished. How will anybody get justice in the zoo if you don't have money? If you have not looted, or you're on the good books of the Fulani Caliphate, you won't get justice. Justice Monica jourdan-Mensem added that this will impact negatively the activities of the court and tribunals to deliver effectively discharge their constitutional duties. No wonder the Osun State Tribunal delivered fraudulent judgment. Sometimes you won't blame them because the zoo is not working. The zoo was not designed to work by the British colonial master. They didn't design it. They only designed the zoo for their own selfish interests so that they could have easy access to Biafra oil and gas and other mineral resources. You know, the president of Appeal Court said there were challenges experienced, but what is imperative is how the challenges were surmounted to ensure the sustenance of democracy in the zoo called Nigeria. There is nothing like democracy in the zoo called Nigeria because the Fulani Janjaweed have perfected their fraudulent selection process. And with the help of the British government and other criminal nations, they have used that to oppress the indigenous people and tribes in Nigeria. That's what they have been doing. You know, in preparation for delivering its constitutional mandate, the court is faced with numerous challenges, which includes but are not limited to paucity of funds. All the money have been looted by the Fulani Nigerian government and their criminal cabals and families and friends. Even Buhari's wife, her blood brother rather, is the managing director of Nigerian Minting and Printing Company that prints Nigerian money. Her blood brother. They have stolen Nigeria dry. The appeal court president said the court needed funds, ICT equipment, and training of staff to ensure proper management of tribunals. The Fulani Janjaweed ensured that they cripple the judicial system in order for them to actualize their Fulanization agenda, so that they will put their stooge in political offices, even if they fail to win elections. They will now use money to buy judgment from the court and install their stooge to do the Fulani biddings. The appeal court president said that the court received over 600 pre-election appeals in 20 divisions of the court from November to date, and more appeals are still being filed. Over 60 panels were set up in various divisions to hear and determine all pre-election appeal filed. My brothers and my sisters, you can see that the zoo is gone. They should just let Biafra go in peace. We cannot continue with all these useless and foolish things happening in the zoo. The Fulani Janjaweed have stolen the zoo dry to the tune of 77 trillion naira and made over 133 million Nigerians to go into abject poverty. You know, they've been doing that in the north with their Hausa slaves. I call them their slaves because they use the Hausa to their advantage. They turned the Hausa people into Alumajari, made them so poor, so that they will be able to control them. And that is what they are doing to Nigerians. They have made Nigerians poor to control them. But Biafrans refuse to be made poor by the Fulani Janjaweed. And that is why fake Buhari and the Fulani Nigerian government detest Biafrans so much. And that was the reason for the genocide in Biafra land. Biafrans have refused to be dominated and oppressed. Thank you, my brothers and my sisters, for watching this video. And bye-bye for now.